Joining us this morning all the way from Sheffield in United Kingdom is sports journalist Seb Jones. Joins us this morning. Good morning to you, and thank you very much for staying put up until now. We really appreciate your patience. Thank you very much for joining us.
No problem. Good morning to all you guys, and thanks for having me again.
All right, let's go straight to the weekend. The weekend promises to be exciting. Tottenham Hotspur at the moment, they're struggling. They seem to have not gotten their rhythm. They take one game and win. The next game, you're not sure what to expect. Is it a case of Ange Postecoglou not being able to galvanize his side, or players' injury worries, or the fact that Tottenham Hotspur are still missing the services of Harry Kane in the squad?
Yeah, probably a combination of all those points you've just mentioned there. I think naturally Tottenham Hotspur just seem to be very inconsistent, really. They never seem to be able to get a string of good sort of results together in consecutive matches. And we've seen that so far this season. They're currently sat in 11th place. They seem to go on a couple of good runs, a couple of wins back to back, and then they lose pretty heavily. In terms of currently, they're on a really bad injury run at the minute as well. I think that they don't have a central defender fit for the game this afternoon. Destiny Udogie is the latest defender out, so it's going to be pretty tricky and a big challenge, I think, for Ange Postecoglou. As you mentioned as well, in terms of whenever you do lose someone like Harry Kane, you have other players that need to step up. Heung-min Son is now the captain, and yes, has stepped up to an extent. Dom Solanke can perform really well. But it's just that lack of consistency that we've seen with Tottenham. And it's all, that's what it's all come down to, really. Unlucky with injuries, lack of consistency in results, and not good enough form to really challenge for the top four, which the top four is where they want to be at the minute.
All right, let's move on from there now. Manchester City, they welcome West Ham United to the Etihad Stadium as they look to win 2 games on the bounce for the first time since October. After a dare run of 1 win in their last 10 games, City bounced back with an important 2-0 win over Leicester City, thanks to, of course, goals from Savinho and Erling Haaland. It means that they start the weekend in 6th place in the Premier League table, 4 points adrift of the top 4 and 14 points behind league leaders Liverpool. Let me come to you now, Kayode Ojo. Manchester City, Guardiola said that he is to blame with of course, the issues surrounding Manchester City. Do you think that Manchester City have returned to winning ways and will continue in that fashion after defeating Leicester City?
Of course, we cannot say that, bearing everything that has been happening in their past, this season to Manchester City and Pep Guardiola, you cannot just say exactly what's going to happen in their next game. Just like we are saying with Tottenham Hotspur now. You can't say that with them. So we hope that they will be able to get themselves together. I like the fact that Pep Guardiola has never at one point or the other actually pointed any finger to any of these players, because these are players that actually did well for him last season, 2 seasons ago, and so he has every reason to take responsibility for them. And I hope they will pick up from where they left when they won 2-0 in their last match.
All right, let me come to you, Jones. Do you think that Pep Guardiola's side, Manchester City, the woes of Man City are over, or you think it's just a blip, or just get a win and then go back to the default setting, or do you think it's going to be all fantastic going on from here?
Yeah, I think City are more or less finished with the blip that they have been on in the past few weeks. I think we saw that, in last week's victory, and I think the only way is up really for Manchester City. Yes, the results haven't been good enough over the past few weeks, but I think they put that behind them, and rightly so. Pep Guardiola, has got a couple of players coming back from injury now, and I think, I think sort of the City of old will return, and they'll get back to a good form, and hopefully start challenging for the top 2 places, which we've seen them comfortably battle for these past few years.
All right, let's go straight down to the camp of Chelsea. Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca confirmed Wesley Fofana could miss the rest of the season due to a serious hamstring injury, a significant blow for the club. Now, Fofana, who is 24 years of age, who has struggled with injuries since joining from Leicester for £70 million in 2022, has made only 32 appearances for Chelsea. Maresca expressed disappointment, calling the loss of the French defender a huge setback. Chelsea also faced the absence of Benoit Badiashile until February, further weakening the team as defense. Now, despite recent setbacks, including a poor festive run, Chelsea remains in the top 4 on track for Champions League qualification. Maresca emphasized the team's long development, stating that while losing games is tough, it won't derail their progress. Jones, Maresca has always said he's not in the title race. Some have said it was just, to play down the expectations for Chelsea, mind games. But Chelsea losing, not having the best run of December 2024. Do you think that Chelsea currently having a reality check on as to if they can actually push or challenge for the title, looking at Arsenal and, of course, Liverpool at the moment?
Yeah, perhaps, you mentioned in terms of their poor run in December, but I think other than that, since the start of the season, Chelsea have actually been on really good run. There was a lot of optimism when Enzo Maresca first took over, but it's actually taken to it really nicely. And Chelsea have since got some good results, and that's reflected in the league table. In terms of sort of heading forward, I guess there's always that issue of Manchester City, in terms of they're going to push at the league table and someone's going to drop out of that top four, which Chelsea are currently in. They occupy that fourth spot. So it will be interesting to see which one of those teams sort of drops off. Forest as well are in third. Chelsea have got to sort of keep up with the results in order to keep up with the other teams. As you mentioned, Liverpool, Arsenal and Manchester City, who I'm sure will sort of rise above in terms of the league rankings. So, I think Enzo Maresca has just got to keep doing what he's doing already. He's picked up some solid results. Yes, he's got a couple of injury worries to worry about. But I think it's nothing new there, and it's not a challenge that he can't overcome. I think he'll be well prepared for it, and he's got a big squad, so there'll be players in there that can sort of replace the ones that are now out. So I think Chelsea have still got a chance of staying in the top four come the end of the season, but there will be some challenges from the other clubs such as Man City.
All right, let's take a look at the Premier League fixtures for Saturday. Interesting matchup. Tottenham will take on Newcastle United. That's, of course, at the stadium. Aston Villa against Leicester City. Bournemouth will take on Everton. Crystal Palace against Chelsea. Manchester City against West Ham United. Southampton against Brentford. And Brighton at the Amex Stadium will welcome Arsenal. That's a big one to watch out. Arsenal will look to keep the pressure on Liverpool at the top of the Premier League table, where they face Brighton today. Now, the Gunners made it 4 wins in a row in all competitions in midweek as they came from behind to win 3-1 against Brentford. The win moved Mikel Arteta's side 6 points behind Liverpool, and they could cut the gap to just 3 before Arne Slot's side faced Manchester United on Sunday. Brighton, meanwhile, are winless in their last 7 games, although the Seagulls have lost just twice during that run. Okaido Joe, Arsenal without Bukayo Saka. Yes, they were able to get a result in the last game and the last 2 games against Ipswich, but this time around they face a tough side like Brighton. Can Mikel Arteta's side get a win right there at the Amex Stadium? Cardi?
I feel they have all it takes to actually get the win, and that's why kudos to Mikel Arteta for actually making the team to soldier on despite the absence of Bukayo Saka, bringing up, making somebody like Martinelli and Lisandro Trossard to actually come out and make it feel like as if Bukayo Saka never left. So, and in the last 5 matches, Arsenal has always been better off. 4 wins in their last 5 matches against the Brighton side. So I feel they should be able to actually get the needed result. But don't take it away from the Brighton side. At their home, they are always very tough to beat.
All right, Jones, before I let you go, Arsenal away at Brighton. Do you think that Arteta can get a job done, knowing fully well that Kai Havertz, yes, is in the squad, not 100% fit, Bukayo Saka is out of the squad. Do you think they can do it with the likes of Gabriel Jesus, Leandro Trossard, and amongst others, including Martinelli?
Yeah, I think so. We saw that in the last match. Obviously, Arsenal are the only one of 2 sides that have already played a game in 2024. They clinched victory against Brentford a few days ago, and I think that sort of showed a lot of determination, a lot of grit from Arsenal to get that final result. In terms of Brighton this weekend, they've actually never lost have Arsenal on a visit to Brighton, winning 3 and drawing 1 of the 4 in total. So I think we can only really look at it as an Arsenal win. In their last 4 visits, as I said, they were unbeaten. So you've got to sort of back Arsenal, really, despite all the injury worries, despite Bukayo Saka certainly is going to be a big miss. Urian Timber as well is suspended. So a lot of the key players are missing, but it's a chance for the other players to step up. We saw Ethan Nwaneri step up in that left wing position against Brentford. So it's a time for other players to do similar and to step up just to cover these gaps while they've got a bit of an injury issue.
All right, thank you very much, Seb Jones, for your quality time. We look forward to a beautiful weekend of the Premier League. We would hope to have you in our subsequent edition of our show. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you very much, guys, for having me. All the best. Cheers.
All right.